Okay guys, hi, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about, as you can see from the title, the free vacation that I won, and I'm going to do like a little review and stuff of the process, the places that we stayed, the things that we did, all that fun stuff. So stay tuned if you want to hear that. But before we get started, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter, and we'll just get into the video. Okay, so on, let's see, June 25th of 2022, so over a year ago, I was at the mall with my friend, and there was this little like stand thing that was set up, and it had like a little raffle for a free vacation for two. And I was like, I never win these things, I'm gonna do it anyways. And it looked like this. I'll put the pictures up on the screen though so you can actually see it. And it literally just asked for like my name and my number and then like the date. And so I did that and it was like win a free 4-day, 3-night vacation in the Bahamas. And so that was cool. So I filled that out. Sorry, I'm gonna have like my notes on my phone, so if you see me looking down, that's why. So I did that, and then I was like, I'm not gonna win that. Like, I never win these things, ever. And I can't remember when they first contacted me, but they did, and I was like, oh, okay, apparently I had actually won. So I called them, and first of all, and I said this in my previous videos when I like briefly mentioned the vacation, it was not free. In fact, the fees and stuff really added up, and we'll get to that later, or we'll get to that eventually. So even if like, luckily we were able to like pay all the fees and stuff, but if you weren't, then like, what are you gonna do, you know? So it was kind of unfortunate for like those who maybe got it and weren't able to, you know, do the fees and go on the vacation or whatever, because it was pretty hefty, and like I said, we'll get to it. So yeah, so I set up my fees, or set up my account, and the fee for that was $40, $39.98. So that was kind of, I was like, okay, $40, whatever, it's fine. And then you also had to set up the administration fees for the cruise. So what it was, so the vacation is, you take a cruise out to the Bahamas, and then you stay for a few nights on at a hotel, and then you take the cruise ship back. Keep in mind, we were also living in Missouri at the time. But I kind of knew that we were going to get down to Florida eventually, because that's where the cruise ship left out of. So we were really hoping that we could plan it to where it was by the time we're down here, so that we wouldn't have to fly down, because that would be an extra expense instead of just like being able to drive to the port. But anyways, so we had to set up a cruise administration fee, and that was four separate payments of $79.99, so $80. So I'm not going to do the math of that right now. Maybe editing John L will. But yeah, so it was spread out over like, I think every 2 weeks or something like that. So that was already a lot of money, $40 plus 4 $80 payments. And then I had to pay the port and service fees, and I did that on February 24th of this year, and that was $248. Me and Ty split that though, so it wasn't as bad on my pocketbook, but still kind of annoying. The last fee was the resort fee, and that was the big one. That one was $951.90. That's so insane to me. So added up, that was all $1,500. So $1,569.84 was all the fees and stuff added up together. That's a lot. So we, back in 2020, I mentioned this before in a previous video, back in 2020, we had a vacation plan to Punta Cana, and it was about $1,500. So I can't imagine if we had actually, like, not won this and wanted to actually, like, how much is it to actually pay for the stuff? Because that's just in the fees, was over $1,500. Like, that's crazy. Like, so that's why I'm saying, like, that's kind of a good chunk of money, especially if you're like us and you don't have a lot of disposable income. Like, luckily we kind of have a little, just a little bit of, like, I don't want to say nest egg, but like a little savings. Not like a whole lot, but enough that we were able to pay for it, because we, like, really wanted to go on the vacation, especially since our one in 2020 got canceled. That in, what did I say, like, February or something like that, or I don't remember, but whatever. So we paid that and we were good to go. We scheduled it for September, and yeah, we were ready, kind of like an early birthday present for me. Granted, this was also before we knew I was pregnant, so yeah, by the time we found out, we were like, well, we're still going on it, like, duh, obviously. So we're just gonna have to, I just have to get a new wardrobe for it and all that stuff, which you saw that video, the Amazon haul. But yeah, and it kind of made stuff harder as well, because, like, I couldn't eat sushi. I can't eat sushi. I can't eat, like, cold cuts, so I couldn't have, like, a little deli, like, charcuterie thing. I couldn't have, like, that was kind of annoying. And I don't drink anyway, so I didn't have to worry about that. But if I did, that would be another thing that I would have had to avoid. Luckily, this pregnancy has been, I say this, it's my first one, but the symptoms have been, like, almost non-existent. It's really just heartburn, is, like, the main symptom. So luckily, that's something I can work with. So I wasn't, like, miserable during vacation, is what I'm saying, which was nice. So yeah, so then moving on to our itinerary. So a quick rundown of everything was on September 10th, was when we got to the port. And then I think they left the port around 5:30-ish. And then they arrived in the Bahamas and Freeport at 8 in the morning the next day. And then we stayed at the hotel for a few nights. I think 4. I think they gave us one more day and night, so we stayed 5 nights instead of, or 5 days and 4 nights instead of 4 days and 3 nights. And then we left on the 15th of September. And we got back to Palm Beach at 7. So, that was the quick rundown. Now to talk about the actual vacation. So, I'll put plenty of pictures and stuff up because, you know, memes and whatever. First of all, we got to, so the ship didn't leave until 5:30-ish. And we got to the port, which is in Palm Beach, or Riviera Beach, technically. We live in West Palm Beach, so it's literally like 20 minutes away from us, which is very lucky. I'm really glad that we were able to move before that, because before we were in Port St. Lucie, so it would have been a longer drive, and more of a hassle for whoever was taking us there. But we could have, like, Ubered if we wanted to. Luckily, the person that was watching our dogs was able to take us to the port, so that was really nice. Thank you, by the way. Anyways, moving on. So, yeah, we got there around, so they recommended you get there around, like, 11 to start, like, checking in and stuff, because that way you're not, like, there last minute, and that's when, like, a lot of people are getting there kind of at the same time. Also, they said they closed the ports at, like, 3-ish. So if you were there after 3, even though the ship doesn't leave till, like, 5:30, you had to be you had to be boarded by 3 o'clock, I think, which was fine because we were there at 11-ish anyways. Like, chilled. I can't remember when they started boarding, though. I want to say it was like noon 30, maybe like 1-ish, something like that. So, and they had them in like different groups, and we were in like one of the last groups, if not the last group, which is like fine, whatever. So we kind of just chilled at the port for like a few hours, just watched videos, played some games, sat around, got a snacky snack and whatever, you know, we were just chilling. And then, so once we got on the ship, I took my big suitcase, my big pink pineapple suitcase, and one half had my stuff in it, and the other half had Ty's stuff in it, so we only had one suitcase. So I ended up checking the suitcase, and then we had, I think I had my backpack for the carry-on, and then like my purse backpack, like my mini backpack for like my purse, and I think that was all we had for carry-on. So that's all we had with us. We didn't have the suitcase with us at the time, so I made sure to like have like all the essentials in the carry-on, like phone cords, stuff like that. I also put like a suit for each of us in there too, and like a towel, stuff like that. Because once we finally boarded the plane, unfortunately, the rooms weren't ready until like after 3. So we got on the ship, and they encouraged us to go eat lunch to kind of kill time. So like I said, we got on the ship around like 1-ish, and we got lunch, and yeah, we kind of just waited around. We explored the ship a little bit. So the ship that we were on was the Margaritaville At Sea. Now, it was my first cruise. I'd never been on a cruise before, and neither had Ty, so we didn't know like what to expect really. My mom has been on a lot of cruises in the past. She's been on like Carnival. I want to say she's been on Royal Caribbean, but I'm not sure. But she's been on a handful of them, and we were on the Margaritaville At Sea. Now, that one, I will say, was not that impressive. It's significantly smaller than all like the other cruise ships, like the main ones, you know, like Carnival, Royal Caribbean, stuff like that. So because of that, there wasn't like a whole lot to do, and like a lot of like room, if that makes sense. Like, I'll put pictures up, but like the pools, they had 2 pools. They had one on like kind of each side. They were super small, like squares, like not very big at all. So that wasn't very appealing to us, and so we were like, okay, well, what do we do? They had a pickleball court, which is kind of cool, I guess. They had like a lounge. They had an auditorium, which I wanted to go to, like, or a theater, sorry. I wanted to go to a show, but we never really got to it. And they had like a kind of a retail plaza, I guess you could say, with all like the gift shops and stuff like that. And then they had the rooms, and then they had a few restaurants. They had like the one that was like the all-inclusive buffet thing that you get when you do all-inclusive places and things, because cruises are usually all-inclusive, in case you didn't know that. And the hotel that we stayed at is also all-inclusive, so I'll talk about that when we get to the hotel. But yeah, so we kind of just were like sitting around. Like, we explored a little bit, but there wasn't, like I said, there wasn't that much to explore. And I think there was only like 2, maybe 3 other restaurants that were not the buffet one. And we actually tried to get into the steakhouse one because it looked really good, but it was like a $60 per person like fee. $60? Like, are you kidding me? We didn't know that. We thought it was just you had to make a reservation and you could go. But no, $60. Like, that's a lot, I feel like, for a steakhouse. Like, and it probably wasn't even that good, because the food was like, it was okay. The ice cream, the free ice cream was obviously the best part. The food was okay. It depended. Yeah, it wasn't like anything crazy though. Like, there's like, you can't expect too much, I feel like, when you do all inclusive, because of the fact that it's free, you know. So yeah. So eventually around 3-ish, but we didn't get the suitcase until like 5-ish, which was like fine because we didn't really need anything out of it, but it was kind of nerve-wracking, you know? It's like, did they lose it? Like, where is it? Hello? Like, you know, am I gonna have to survive this whole vacation without my suitcase? Like, what's happening right now, you know? So it was kind of nerve-wracking, like I said. And we had an interior room. We could have upgraded to like either an ocean view room or like one with a veranda or a balcony. But I was like, we're not gonna be on the ship for that long, like, so I think we'll be okay. And it wasn't bad. Actually, the room didn't feel as small as and like enclosed as I thought it would, even though like you don't have any windows or anything when you have an interior room. The bathroom was pretty small and the shower was kind of icky. So there's that, which is kind of unfortunate. But what can you do, I guess? Like I said, we weren't gonna be, I figured we wouldn't be in the room a whole lot, anyways, because we would be like out on the deck doing stuff, or like just the fact that we were only gonna be on the ship for like less than 24 hours. So I was like, meh, it's fine, we'll survive. And it wasn't that bad. And I said we got to it at Freeport, which is on Grand Bahama Island. So if you don't know much about like Bahamas geography, maybe I'll put up like a map. It's not anywhere close to where the capital Nassau is, where like the Atlantis resort is. That's kind of like in the middle of the islands, and we're on like the very like west side. So technically it's only like maybe like 80 miles or something like that from Palm Beach. So it's not very far at all. You could like take a day trip there if you had a boat, if you wanted to. So yeah, it's not far at all. And yeah, so we pulled into the port, and the port was very industrial. And so I found that interesting that they like, it's probably cheaper, would be my guess, that they chose like an industrial port as opposed to like a non-industrial port. But it's an interesting view, I guess, to see when you get there. And the port of Palm Beach is also pretty industrial as well. So yeah, but so we got up the next morning. We were at the port, we got our brekkie, and then we started disembarking, and that actually didn't take too long. I can't remember what time. I want to say it was like maybe like 10 or something. Here, let me look. Does it say? We got out, we went through like customs and stuff, and then we were there, and we had to wait for our taxi or shuttle to get to the hotel. And there was like a little market there, like right in front, of course. We didn't check it out because we just didn't feel like it. And took us to the hotel. The hotel that we stayed at was the Viva Fortuna Beach. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But yeah, so we stayed there 4 nights. So we were there Monday through Friday. Yeah, Monday through Friday. So the resort was a lot better than the ship, first of all. Problem was, we got there, so we disembarked, like I said, around 10:30, whatever. So we got to the hotel, and unfortunately, like just like the ship, we could only like pre-check-in, because the rooms wouldn't be ready till 3, which makes sense because that's usually check-in time for a hotel anyways, is around 3. But it just sucked that we were there so early, because we were there at like, I don't even know, maybe like noon or something like that. So we had a lot of time to kill. And luckily I did have our swimsuits in my bag, because, which we could have gotten to the suitcase anyways. But, yeah, because eventually I was like, okay, I'm tired of sitting around. Because we were just like, because it was hot too, and it's like all open air and stuff like that, so it's hot everywhere. You don't really get a good break unless you go inside, like into like a gift shop or something like that. So yeah. but I was like, we gotta do, I'm tired of sitting around doing nothing. Like, we gotta do something. And because we were in the Bahamas, like, we didn't have, like, phone service. And so we were kind of subsisting on the Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi didn't really reach out to the pool that well. So I was like, okay, we need to do something. Like, I'm gonna go change into my swimsuit, and you can go change into yours after me, and we'll go hang out at the pool a little bit, because I'm also hot. So I don't think I had any makeup on, so I didn't worry about that. I think I just threw my hair up in a clip or something like that. So I was like, I gotta do something. So we did. We changed and we went into the pool and hung out a little bit. There was, like, throughout the day, because it's like an all-inclusive kind of family place, throughout the day there's like different stuff that you can do. And when we were there at the pool, they were doing like a water aerobics thing. We didn't participate, but like it looked really fun, and the guy that was like leading it was like, he was really getting into it. It was funny. I was like, I like this guy. But yeah, so we didn't do a whole lot of the activities, unfortunately, like that the hotel provided, mostly because of the pregnancy thing. Like, I couldn't, like, they had like a little trapeze thing, which would have been so cool to do, but obviously I couldn't do that. So yeah. So the pool itself, because there was a hot tub, I think. Yeah, a hot tub, the main pool, and then there's like a kiddie pool that was like shallower. We didn't use like obviously the kiddie pool or the hot tub really. We just went to the pool that one day, that first day we were there, and it was nice though. Like, it got pretty deep too, which was cool. It was a decent size. The water wasn't too cold, which was nice. Yeah, and the pool deck patio area was also pretty nice. It was, yeah. And then it had like the beach area next to the pool, pretty much. And it was interesting because they have like a club member like VIP thing. So like on like the beach was kind of split. So like one side was like the VIP side and the other side was like the regular side, I guess. I don't really know what the difference was. I think the VIP might have had like some cabanas or something like that. I don't know, but it was whatever. But the sand down there, if you've ever been, or over there, I guess, is really fine. Like super, super fine. Way more fine than the sand here in Florida. At least where I am in Palm Beach County. Palm Beach County. I know it gets finer the more south you go, because I know when we went to Miami, South Beach, it was pretty fine down there. And then I know in the Keys, it's like that white sand that's like super fine and can like really fuck you up because it like reflects the sunlight. So yeah, but it was like I said, really, really fine. So it was almost like muddy sometimes, because it would, like, if it was wet or if your shoes are wet or your feet are wet or whatever, it would like stick to it really, really well. And then I will say the like little shower wash off stations that they had weren't very good. They were like a waterfall kind of thing. Like, it didn't have like a shower head like you would expect. It was just like, and they were kind of broken as well. Like, they weren't well maintained. So that was unfortunate because it made like getting the sand off and stuff really a pain in the ass. At least on our side, like the regular side, not the VIP side, didn't have any umbrellas, but there were a lot of trees. So all the lounge chairs were like around the trees. So the trees provided a good amount of shade too, which was nice. This is a lot of cats, a lot of stray cats, a lot of kittens. Actually, there was one that was really cute. I think they named him Garfield. He was like a little ginger tabby, and he was so cute. He was so playful. He would walk right up to you. He was adorable. And they're all a handful of little kittens, like black and white kittens, and we would try to get them to come to us, but they were a little more skittish. But that was fun because I love cats. I'm a cat person. So yeah. The food, just like the cruise ship, they had like a buffet style restaurant that was like the main restaurant that they like, where you got food. The other ones you had to make a reservation. I think there was like 2 maybe 3 others that you had to make a reservation for. You didn't have to pay extra though at the hotel. That hotel was so much better when I tell you, especially about the all-inclusive stuff. It's so much better when it came to that stuff because you, like I said, you didn't have to pay extra for the other restaurants that weren't the buffet. You also didn't have to pay for cocktails. So they had a bar, and they also had a bar on the beach, and the cocktails were free, which we weren't expecting because usually alcohol isn't free, but no, their cocktails were free. So that was cool. Ty enjoyed that. He didn't get like sloshed or anything, but he did enjoy some beverages, you know. And we made a reservation at the Mexican restaurant, which is one of the restaurants, and we went to that, and it was okay. I don't remember what I got. I think I got salmon, which wasn't even on the fucking menu, but it was okay. You know, it wasn't like out of this world or anything like that. It was okay. And then the buffet food was also okay. Some of the stuff was really good. Like they had a Caribbean food night one of the nights, and it was really good. Caribbean food is just, I want to try more. And there are, where we are at least, there's a handful of places around us that are Caribbean food, so that's cool. We were supposed to wait until 3, but we were chilling in the lobby around like 2, and they were like, oh, your room's ready, you can come on. I was like, yes. So we actually got our room a little early, which was nice. And unfortunately though, it was on like the very end of the fucking resort. Like it was a hike, kind of. It was very unfortunate too when it came to like doing stuff, because like I wanted to do stuff like around the resort and stuff, but it was hard because our room was so far away. So it's like when you make the hike all the way to the room, you kind of want to just stay there for a little while instead of going right back out, you know. So that was unfortunate. The room itself was okay. We got a 2 queen beds, I think, and obviously we only used one. We used the other one to put my suitcase on. And then when we got there, also one of the beds wasn't made all the way, so that was kind of annoying. But whatever. But the room itself wasn't bad. Yeah, it was like tile floors. We had a patio. We were on the first floor, thank God. And yeah, and the bathroom wasn't bad either. The only thing is the shower was a big pain in the ass. So they did the thing where they have the shower and it like has like this panel of glass, but the glass only goes like halfway. And I don't know why hotels do this. This isn't the first time I've been in a hotel that has this. I don't know why they can't just make it like a door or something. Like I feel like it can't be that much cheaper, you know, to just have a half panel of glass. But because of that, water will spray out and it would get all over the floor. Like we had to put like multiple towels down so that it wouldn't be super wet. And that was annoying. And the shower was like kind of icky. Like it wasn't that bad, like, but it was kind of icky. And then there were like bugs in there also sometimes, but like you are like in the Caribbean, so like bugs are kind of expected, just like here in Florida, you know, you kind of are expected to see bugs and pests and stuff. But still it's still kind of annoying, you know. But yeah. And the hotel had free Wi-Fi. On the ship, you had to pay for it. So that was unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, and they know exactly what they're doing, too. Because, like, you either pay for that or you pay for international roaming, which is, like, $10 a day. So I think on the way back, I ended up saying fuck it and purchasing the 24-hour Wi-Fi pass for, like, $15. So it's like, I need some outside, like... What am I trying to say? Like, I need, like, some communication with the outside, you know. The excursions, unfortunately, are not included. There were a few things the hotel provided. Like, you could do, like, a catamaran thing. You could do, like, beach volleyball and snorkeling. Because there was, like, a small reef, like, off of the shore, off of the beach, at the resort, which we did end up checking out. And I think there was like some other like small stuff to do, but I can't remember. But the bigger stuff, like where you had to go places and whatever, you had to pay for, which was like, we were expecting that, so we kind of planned for that. So we decided to do 2, and Ty really wanted to do the dolphin experience, but I like wasn't that interested in it, so we didn't end up doing it because it was like, meh, whatever. So the first one we did was snorkeling out on a reef that was like literally like not even a mile from the hotel. Like you could literally see the resort from where we were. Like it was like a 15-minute boat ride. And I don't know the name of the reef or if it even had a reef, a name, but it was really cool actually. He like the skipper like took us to like a really good spot, like in the middle of the reef pretty much, and there was like so many fish, and I was so proud because I could like name a bunch of them. And the coral wasn't like super colorful, unfortunately. There was like a handful of like bleached coral, but that's unfortunately to be expected. There was some really pretty purple fan corals, like purple, so that was cool. We saw a lot of fish. We didn't see anything else. It was just fish at that reef, which was still really cool because it's just like, if you've never been snorkeling like that before, which we hadn't, we had only like kind of snorkeled off of like a beach, but never like gone out to an actual reef and snorkeled. So that was cool. It's like you put your goggles on, you look down, or you go under, and it's like just like an expanse of coral and fish and stuff. It's kind of crazy, you know, if you've never done it before. It's like, whoa, this is what it looks like, because you know, when you're on the boat looking down into the water, it's not the same at all. So yeah, that was really fun. And then the next day, wasn't the next day? I think so. We did the pig and turtle. It was like a bundle kind of thing. You could do them separately, but we were like, why not? Because it wasn't that much more, I think, to do them both, or to do the bundle than to just pick one. Because I really wanted to do the turtles and pigs. The pigs was different. I think it was a different beach than like the photos that you see online and stuff. It wasn't like the pig beach, I think, because it wasn't like wild pigs. They were like very much like domestic pigs. But anyway, so first we did the turtles, and it was a snorkel excursion, but it was called Deadman's Reef, and it was, so our guide was really cool. I don't know his name, but he was really good. I liked him a lot. And tons of green sea turtles, like a lot, and they were all like pretty young too, like juveniles at least. I think there was maybe like 1 or 2 sub-adults maybe, but they were relatively small, and that was really cool. Swimming with the turts. And there was so it's like, it was a good swim, but because we had like fins and stuff, I didn't really feel like it, and we're also like hyped to see all this stuff. This reef was really, really cool. I would love to snorkel it or dive it again. It was a good reef. Lots of corals, lots of colorful corals as well. There was a few rays. There were actually a few rays like close to shore, like you could see them when we were like waiting to like go out and stuff. And then we saw there was a nurse shark sleeping on the bottom. That was cool. There was some barracudas. Barracuda? Is it barracuda or barracudas? I'm not sure. But it was a decent sized one, and there were a few smaller ones too. There was a squid at some point closer to the shore that I saw. Ty didn't see because he was doing his own thing. But yeah, lots and lots of reef fish, of course. My legs are still recovering. That beach, even though the snorkeling was really good, that beach had such bad no-see-ums, and I was not ready. If I had known, I would have prepped beforehand because it was so bad. And I was kind of getting eaten up like at the hotel and stuff, but that beach in particular, like they were aggressive. Like it hurt when they bit you. It was bad, and like my legs were just covered in bites. Like I was just itching up a storm. Like I had to like beg Ty to like give me like back scratches or like head rubs or something to distract me so I wouldn't itch my bites, because my legs were when I tell you they were covered, they were covered. They've gotten better now. I think most of them have healed, which is nice, but it was not a good time. That was very unfortunate. So once we were done with turtles, we went to the pig beach, which was like a little farther down, pretty much. Like I think you could like see it from where we were, but like our driver like drove us there, like we didn't have to walk there. And so when we got there for the piggies, we got into like a group of all the people that we're gonna do. We got like a little safety briefing, like how to feed them, how to, you know, make sure not to irritate them, how to touch them, stuff like that, you know, so you didn't like get bit or something like that. So they gave us little like skewers with apple slices on them to feed them, but they were very much like domesticated pigs. They weren't like wild pigs, so I think it's not the same one that you like see all over social media. It was still really fun, but yeah. Anyways, so it was like this area of the beach where they would let the pigs out in the water, and me and Ty are from the Midwest, okay? He was a yee boy, okay? He's dealt with farm animals and stuff before. I didn't do that, but I lived in a very rural town, so like it wasn't going to bother me, but they poop in the water, obviously, because they're wild animals. It's not like they know to hold it or anything like that. So you could tell which section of the water where they do it because it was like brown and murky. So that was kind of yucky, and you had to watch for like the floating turds go. So that was kind of yucky. But like it's still fun. Like if you can get over that, then you're fine. And then once we were done feeding them in the water and stuff, we went up to like the area where they kind of kept them, and we got to like hold the little babies, and they were so cute. I didn't hold one. I made Ty do it, but yeah, they were pretty cute, and they were super calm too. Like you could tell like they're used to people and being handled and stuff, so they were, yeah, like I said, super calm. Like they weren't like throwing a fit or anything. So that was fun also. And then we actually did the snorkeling at the resort, so we could like rent out like snorkeling gear and stuff, and there was a reef, like I said, like right off of the beach pretty much. And this one couple that we had talked to either that morning or the day before or something like that said that they had gone out in the morning at like 7 in the morning and they saw like sharks and stuff, and I was like, oh, that would have been cool, let's go. But it was like the afternoon, I think, when we went, and we didn't see any sharks, unfortunately. It was still cool though. Like it was a smaller reef, and it was like all fish again. Like we didn't see anything crazy, unfortunately. I think sometimes you can see turtles there too, but we didn't see any. We just saw fish. We might have just been there at the wrong time, I don't know. So that, and we ended up actually going to a show at the hotel, and it was cool. It was, they called it like Time Machine or something like that, so it was essentially just like going like through the decades. I think they started in like the 50s maybe or something like that, and they ended in the 2010s. And maybe I'm delusional, but if you don't know, I was a dancer for like 16 years, and I stopped once I graduated high school. And like I said, maybe I'm delusional, but I feel like if I were to audition, I could have like made it. It'd be a fun job. Probably doesn't pay very well though, but some of the show overall was fun, but some of the dancers were not very good. Like they're kind of just doing like bare minimum, and like some of the girls like weren't even like pointing their toes, and stuff, and it's like, okay, there was this one guy, he had like long hair, he had like the look, like the long hair, like good body, his face was like attractive, bare minimum. Like he had no stage presence at all. I was like, okay. And he had like a solo too, and I was like, okay. And me being a former dancer, I feel like I'm extra critical when it comes to performances and stuff, because I'm like hyper aware of like what to look for and stuff like that. So I was like trying not to do that, but it was very hard not to. There was this one girl, she was really good. She was super tall, and you could tell she was like the best one. And there was like one or two others that were pretty good too. And then the guys' choreography was a lot better than the girls. The guys was a lot more like, I don't want to say spicy, but it was like, the girls was definitely more like conservative, I feel like it wasn't as fun, I feel like, as the guys, which I guess like when it comes to like male performers, it is easier for them to do like more carefree choreography and stuff like that, but it would have been more fun for the girls to also be able to do stuff like that. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but it was a decent show. Aside from that, like the concept and stuff was cool, but it was just like the dancers themselves, it was like, oh, okay. We didn't do a whole lot of like the activities around the hotel, because we would like do something, we would get breakfast and lunch or something, and then we would go back to the room and like chill and time to fall asleep, which like is fine, whatever. But it's like, I feel like we should do, there's always like, I feel like there's always on vacation, there's always the person that wants to do all the things, and always the person that wants to like relax because they're on vacation, they don't have to do anything, you know. And we got to the port, Freeport, for the cruise ship, and we went through like security and stuff like that. Super chill. We got on the ship, the rooms are already ready, which was so nice that we didn't have to wait around, and I had my suitcase too, and I didn't have to like check it or anything like that, so that was nice as well. Didn't have to worry about that unlike the first time. We did get a different room this time. It was still like an interior room, which, like I said, it was fine, whatever. So yeah, we tried to like kind of sit on the deck and stuff more, going back, but yeah. What I discovered though was we like pulled out of the port, and we like kind of just like stopped in the middle of the ocean. We were just like chilling, I guess, because like I said, it's not a very far like ride, so like how are they gonna pan that out until, you know, we get there at like 7, 8 in the morning? That's how they stopped. And also I discovered, I looked on Life 360. I was like, oh, I wonder where we are. We're probably like in the middle of the Caribbean or whatever. It was like 8, 9 maybe at night, and we were at the port in Palm Beach. I was like, oh, I wonder when we got here. How long have we been here? What? Like, I figured we would like rolled up there like in the morning, but nope, apparently not. I was like, okay then. Yeah, so that was interesting. And then we disembarked, I think around 4:35 maybe, something like that. So, you know, when you it's just like when you come back from a foreign country, like on a plane, you have to go through customs and stuff, and you have to like declare stuff and whatnot. We didn't have anything to declare, but yeah, and that was pretty smooth as well. We had to wait in line for like a little bit, but that's to be expected because it's like a bunch of people all at once, right? So yeah, and then our friends picked us up and took us back, and we got to see the doggies, and they were so excited. And apparently they were pretty good, so that's good. But yeah, overall it was like a fun vacation. It was definitely needed, like I said, but I probably wouldn't do the cruise ship again. The cruise ship I just wasn't impressed with. It was, I've heard a lot of people will just do it as like a weekend trip, and I can see that. But yeah, overall, we had a good time. Like I said, I would give the cruise ship like I don't know, like 5 out of 10, maybe 6. I don't know. I feel like I'm being really harsh, but sorry. And then I would give the hotel like a 7. I'd say 7, 8. Like I said, the hotel was a lot better than the cruise ship. So I feel like the cruise ship, for cruises, they have to like squeeze as much money out of you because of it being all inclusive, but the hotel was a lot better. Like I said, they had a lot more included things for the all inclusive. So yeah, I don't know. Overall though, the overall vacation I'd give like an 8 out of 10, just because like it was a fun experience and we got to do a lot of cool stuff. So aside from, you know, our accommodations, the vacation was a fun one and definitely much needed. So yeah, I hope you liked this video, guys. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you missed my socials in the beginning of the video, they will be in the description down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.